It's really a wicked problem. So that's probably why no one has dared to really tackle it from the roots. People are just seeing the immediate opportunity side, like trading vegetables, trading fruits, etc. That's it. But what we're aiming to do is really impact the sector. All right.
Now I'm with Jeff, the founder of MAYANI. I'm very happy to have you. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I'd love to know more about MAYANI and also your background on how you ended up actually starting this company.
Okay, sure. But the background on how the company started, I usually tell the simple story of me watching a documentary about Southeast Asian farmers, because it seems the experience of smallholder farmers in Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam, it's very similar. And the bottom line is they're all poor. And watching that documentary really, it tugged at my heart. And I was thinking, with all the advances of technology, you've got the internet, you've got telcos all over, you've got third-party logistics. Why wasn't anyone doing something about it? So I have no agriculture background, I have no tech background, I'm just an entrepreneur. So I was thinking, I'm gonna give this a shot. So the mission of MAYANI is to help the smallholder farmers. In the Philippines, we have 10 million of them. And we cannot let this sector down. It ultimately affects food security because they remain poor. The next generation, they do not want to become farmers. So how's that for our food supply? So it's a real and present danger. So what we really are seeking to do in MAYANI is to provide fair pricing for the smallholder farmers, to start utilizing data in the supply chain process, to put in tech, to put in management efficiency, to be the single link between the smallholder farmers and the market.
How did you feel when you actually started your own company? Did you?
It was, I consulted some agriculture experts because I wanted to know if this idea of mine could fly. And the feedback I got was, Jeff, this is going to be an extremely difficult undertaking. It's just so messy. But two bits of early advice I got. One, because they were actually discouraging me because it's so messy, it's so complicated. But then they also left this single little bit of advice is, if you can pilot it, then do it.
Wow.
So when they said that, I'm gonna pilot it, I'm gonna do this. And then the second one is this agriculture expert who was telling us, this is so messy, Jeff, but the opportunities are there. So that's why we're still here, mining the opportunities, working on the social impact. It's really a wicked problem. So that's probably why no one has dared to really tackle it from the roots. People are just seeing the immediate opportunity side, like trading vegetables, trading fruits, etc. That's it. But what we're aiming to do is really impact the sector. And it's a huge undertaking, but we've got solid backing. We are taking the tech startup route. We did a seed round fundraising last year, very well received, oversubscribed, and I think the momentum is there.
I see. It would be nice if I could know more of your plans too. I know you have a B2B business and a B2C marketplace for groceries too.
Correct.
Would it be B2B focused or for revenue?
Yes, for sure we are going to be a B2B focused ag tech company. We will provide with stability in supply and stability in pricing. So because we have a farmer network that is very wide, located all over the country, then we have the power to provide stable supply, stable prices. So we're going to serve the B2B market, so that means hotels, restaurants, supermarkets, commercial kitchens, catering businesses. So it's going to be that. But the thing is, that's just the access to market part of our mission. There, we are also touching on the access to credit needs of our farmers. So we will be providing financing so that we can also keep on helping the farmers. So we will have financing partners like banks or non-bank financial institutions. Each leg is quite complicated. Because the access to market means supply, matching supply and demand.
Yeah.
So supply itself carries with it a lot of intricacies like farmer productivity, farm technology, and on the demand side, we have to consolidate demand, generate revenue, generate sales. The hardest part is putting all these together. Because essentially it is a supply and demand matching capability that is lacking. Because, as I've gone around the country, I've seen that, food is out there. Food is out there. So many farms, so many fields, got the coastline so long that it has rich in aquatic resources. But there is no visibility, there is no visible way to market. While those looking for produce, because it's just so fragmented, are not so sure where will I get it? Will the price be stable? So it's the hard part is demand and supply matching.
Okay.
So it's really an ecosystem thing, and that I think is very essential to our social impact side.
What would be like the advantages and disadvantages of being a startup founder here in the Philippines?
Well, in our case, or in my personal case, the advantage is I get to do something of value, of impact. So it depends actually on the sector that you choose to get into. So in our case, the fact that we are in a social impact-driven startup is a great incentive to do well because we know that the whole sector is counting on us. Another advantage, if you get in now, you have the guts for it, then you can ride the wave. Because from our observation, interest in Philippine startups is on a high trajectory. So interest is really growing. So if you come in now, you can ride the wave. Disadvantages, as with any startup, it can be stomach churning. It doesn't provide regular income. You don't get a salary. Disadvantage, the ecosystem support, that means government and private sector, is just a very early stage. So it's not as vibrant as, let's say, Indonesia. But we're getting there. So I think anybody who wants to give it a shot ought to give it a shot now.
I see. Very interesting. In that sense, do you think, there aren't many entrepreneurs as well?
I think Filipinos are actually inherently entrepreneurial. I think we have a good base of entrepreneurs here. And if the support grows, so we're talking about accelerators, incubators, government, private companies, VCs, then I think we're really bound to take us.
You think there's opportunities for foreign companies and people to come into the Philippines? I noticed that there aren't many foreigners here, or is it for startups too, or is it?
For startups, you know what? I've noticed that two things. Some Filipinos schooled abroad are starting to come back and starting their own ventures, their own enterprises, their own startups. But I've also met recently some young people, Europe, US, partnering with, possibly they know some, probably friends in college or something. Just 2 weeks ago, I was in a startup event. This guy, I'm forgetting, he's Polish or something. I forgot his nationality. But after a couple of years working in Europe, he decides to partner with a Filipino. I think number one, Filipinos schooled abroad. Number two, young, adventurous entrepreneurs from other countries are starting to look at the Philippines.
Wow,
I think it's also because the Southeast Asia startup scene is very hot.
Well, is there a good way to network with startups here for maybe investors or maybe startups from other countries?
Yes, there are a growing number of events recently. Last week was Philippine Startup Week. Last week was Geeks on a Beach in Bohol. A lot of networking events happening. It's not a huge ecosystem yet. That's why it's very easy to be connected. If you have friends coming over, I'd be happy to point them to people and events.
That would be very nice. So this is going to be my last question, but are there any people you'd like to be connected with? Or
That's very interesting, actually. Japan is a major market of Philippine food products. I believe they are. So if there are Japanese companies looking to get their food supply from the Philippines and are wanting to do it in an impactful way, like impacting a community of farmers, then I'd be happy to be in touch with them. If there are startups or corporates who are excellent in processing, food processing, whether that be calamansi or powderizing or ube or powderizing turmeric, that I'd be very interested. Or Japanese companies serving the global market and needing more supply, I would be happy to speak with them.
Would you be like, I mean, you're raising for Series A, so like, would you be interested in meeting
Sure.
investors too?
Yeah, we're deep into conversations with investors. So yeah, we'd be happy to be connected.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jeff. Do you have any like questions or anything to add, or?
Yeah, just stay in touch. I mean, you could reach me at jeff@mayani.ph.
Yes.
So anytime you or connect with me on LinkedIn, yeah, just field me a question over there.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jeff. It was great having you.
All
Thank you so
right.
much, Jeff.
Happy to know you, Everett.
Thank you so much.
All right.